Good morning, students. Today we are going to revise chapter 2 of chemistry, that is physical and chemical change, in which we are going to learn or we are going to revise about the difference between physical and chemical change. So I hope this chapter is clear to you because we have already discussed this chapter. We are just going to see few points which are important regarding this chapter. So let's discuss this chapter, the difference between physical and chemical changes. So physical change does not cause a substance to become a fundamentally different substance, but a chemical change causes a substance to change into something chemically new. For example, if I'm making a juice, so you need several fruits to blend. Then if you blend those fruits, for example, it involves two physical changes: the change in shape of each fruit and the mixing together of many different pieces of fruit, because none of the chemicals in the components are changed during blending. So that is why it is a physical change. And we know that no chemical changes are involved here. Right, it just changes its form, its shape, not its composition. So this example is a physical change. So now we know that blending something involves physical change, but not chemical changes. Now cutting, tearing, shattering, grinding and mixing are further types of physical changes, because they change the form but not the components or composition of a material. For example, mixing salt and pepper creates a new substance without changing the chemical makeup of either component. Phase changes are changes that occur when substances are melted, frozen, boiled, condensed, sublimated, or deposited. They are also physical changes because they do not change the nature of the substance. It just changes its form from water, vapor, to water, that is liquid, or to solid. So it just changes its form, not its composition. But what about chemical changes? Chemical changes are also known as chemical reactions. So the ingredients of a reaction are called the reactants and the end results are called the products. So the change from reactants to products we call chemical changes. Now, for example, here you can see the points of physical changes and chemical changes, the difference. So in physical changes, no new substances or product is formed. It just changes its form. In a chemical change, always new substance or products are formed. I told you that chemical change means what? Chemical reaction. All the reactants converts into products, means a new substance or a substance having a new composition is formed. Reactants having different composition, and after reaction a new product is formed, and the composition of that product is totally different from that reactant. Now second point is what you see: physical change bring a change in physical properties of matter, like only shape, size, etc. So like melting of wax or candle is your physical change. Chemical change causes of chemical properties of matter or substance, like burning of wax. In this you can say that chemical change occurs because a new substance is formed by burning of wax. Now it is a reversible change that can be reversed easily. For example, ice into vapor. So if you see that if ice melts into water, what happens? It changes its form, ice to water or ice to solid to liquid. So you can reverse this process. How? By keeping the liquid, means water, in the refrigerator. So by changing the temperature you can get ice. So it is a reversible process. Then what about chemical change? It is an irreversible change that cannot be reversed. Like for example, if you cook any food, all those vegetables, the spices, if you mix together, you will get a vegetable. And afterwards, if you want those vegetables back, you cannot get it. Isn't it? So, cooking, baking, and burning are example of irreversible changes. Then changes have no effect on the chemical bonds of atoms or molecules of a substance. Leave this point. Then proceed further. A physical change cannot produce energy during the process. So in a physical change, energy cannot produces. But in chemical change, energy produces, like in terms of heat, energy, sound, and light. You can see the chemical changes. The physical change, it is a temporary change. It is not a permanent change. But here in chemical change, it is a permanent change. As you can see here, that it cannot be reversed. That means the change is permanent. Now you see here, in a physical change, the composition of matter does not change. So I told you that it only changes its form, not its composition. So composition of matter remain same here. But here in a chemical change, the composition of matter completely changed. Okay, so these are all about the difference between physical and chemical change. So in assignment, question number 1 is, in addition to the formation of new products, what changes do the chemical changes accompany? So as you can see here in first point, that new substances are formed or new products are formed. Other than this, you can write what changes, what else? That heat, light or sound may be given off during the reaction or can be absorbed in the reaction, and it is a permanent change. Any other point you can pick other than this point which is given in the question. Now here in question number 2, I think you can solve this question. Classify the following changes in as many ways as possible. So burning of paper is a reversible change. Then it is a chemical change. Like that only. Ripening of fruits, desirable change. Chemical change. Then more about exothermic, endothermic, and like that way you discuss as many ways as possible. You classify these examples as changes. Now the third question is cloud formation a physical or chemical change? So the answer will be, formation of cloud is a physical change because it changes its phase. Means only phase transformation of water occurs, like from liquid to gas during water cycle, and then gas to liquid. Hence the physical property of water undergoes change in the formation of clouds. It just changes its form, not its composition. So it is a physical change. So solve the question, read the chapter nicely. Thank you.